Hey up my ducks, let's go. Right, hey up my ducks, I'm Aaron reporting for CoasterGen, and thank you for tuning in to episode 3 of Dog Ride Ducks Quack. This episode we're going to have a little chat about Derren Brown's ghost train at Thorpe Park. Again, please do let me know your thoughts on this dog ride in the comments below. Let's get a little chat going. Tell me what you think. I love speaking about it. So where do we start with this ride? Well, first of all, VR. Straight off the bat, shouldn't have happened in my opinion, but we'll go more into that. So the actual building itself looked pretty cool in Thorpe Park. I think the frontage looks awesome, the queue line. I like the dodgy posters on the wall which are like falling to bits, and that I think it sets a good scene. The actual team members and actors who work in there are really phenomenal and good. Oh, that word's coming back to haunt me. But that's cool. So you go in, don't you? You get batched, and then you go into the first room when Derren Brown does his spiel, which this first little pre-show is brilliant. It's so good. I think it's what Derren Brown's known for. He does his whole spiel, his mentalist work, his this and that and the other, and tells you how good ghost trains are, which is true, and that he's recreated the new version Quack. So, and then you get to another pre-show and they go a little spiel, nice little actor work, and then you go into the main building, don't you? And the building looks so good. It looks cavernous, and the little trains in there, the tube train, looks really good, brilliant. The bridges across, everything, can't fault it. That thing is just so good. Choo choo. Right. And then it goes wrong, doesn't it? You get put into the actual the tube train, and then you have to try and get this VR headset off the seat onto your head. I have a big head as well. They used to call me melon head in school. I'm getting flashbacks. It's not good. But anyway, I struggled to put it on. So you've got to get it over your head, over your eyes, over your ears. Make sure it's all that good. And mine never fits, and then I'm panicking because my anxiety starts to kick in because it's going to start and I'm not going to be able to do it, and everything's going wrong. And then I manage it, kind of, and one eye works and one eye doesn't, and the audio's up and down. But if you manage to see what's going on in the first section, the person across from you, I mean, there's spoilers in it. Oh, spoiler alert! And it starts, doesn't it? And I think that first bit's actually pretty decent. It's quite scary. There's a person, there's whatever doing, whatever there, speaking to you and telling you the story, and I think that's pretty good actually. And you get rushed off, don't you? Rushed off. You get rushed for this little mini scare maze, which is actually pretty decent. They could do more with that. I wish they would do more with that, to be honest, because I think it could be so good. But we'll get to that in a minute. And then you try to remember the set of numbers you were given at the start, but you don't, do you? And that whole thing never gets revealed properly, I don't think, to what it was meant to have been. It looks like it was meant to be some kind of play on numbers, and I don't think Derren Brown's just going to give you a set of numbers to remember for the code to get in the door. It all seems a bit yeah. You're back on the train, it goes to rubbish again. Try to get your VR headset on, you can't. And then the second VR is so bad, I think, especially the ending. It's just bad. And then you get rushed into a shop, which is lovely. And if it works, something happens in there. If it doesn't, you don't have a good experience in there. What are your thoughts on that ending bit? I think everyone's been through it by now, so they know what happens. And I'm doing what Derren Brown told me not to do, really, and spoiling the whole thing. But hey, well, it might not be here soon. But that ending's good, and then you go into the real shop, and that's so good, isn't it? Oh, I love the things in the actual shop, the merch and that. Does anyone have the floating train? Let me know if you do, just honestly. And they have the Zoltar in there, don't they? And they have one at the entrance of Thorpe Park. The Derren Brown Zoltar, I've got a mini Zoltar here. I love Zoltar so much. And that Derren Brown one is so good, like, honestly. And that's it, isn't it? And I love ghost trains, and for a ghost train to try and make it fresh and rejuvenate it, I think such a good idea. But I think they went so wrong with the VR. Now, what I hope happens to it, I hope it stays. I hope it stays, because it could be ridiculously good. It could be world renowned, and I think it should stay. I think they should scrap the VR, go back to the roots of what Derren does best with his mentalism and his magic and his thing, blah 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 blah, and do practical stuff. So you can keep everything. Do something more with that code sequence, make it into actual thing. When you go into the train, don't have your VR, you go into the train, it goes pitch black, bam, and then things start to happen. You can have tappings and sounds coming from outside the train, you can have movement in there, which you're giving away, and you can have things floating past you, you can have things sprayed at you, things hitting the back with, on the chairs. You can do so much with that. And I think it would be such a better illusion and experience and easier to run if that was the case. So yeah, I think it could be so much better, and I think it should stick around because it's such a good experience at Thought Park. If they go ahead, remove the VR, put the practical effects in, let's get back to them roots. You can still have screens, you can still have mods and cons, you can still have all this, which complements actual practical physical effects well, and do it very nicely. Thank you. Let me know what you think. Do subscribe if you haven't, like, comment and all that jazz. Thank you very much. I've been Aaron Gallimore. May you shine bright as a diamond. May your days live long and prosper.
My ghost train.